Your headline act after the closing bell today is Apple. With your preview, here's Bloomberg's Ponczek.
Hey, John, absolutely. Being the heavyweight that Apple is sure to steal the spotlight after the bell today when they report. Now, after Apple fell near 7% last year, we've seen a really strong rebound, up about 32.5%. That is more than Amazon, Netflix, and Google, but less than Microsoft and Facebook. When it comes to their report, though, after bell, what will investors be focusing on when it comes to segments? Absolutely sure there will be a focus on iPhones, making sure that iPhone demand is not falling off of a cliff. But we know that Apple's dependency on the iPhone has been waning. It's been coming down. So there will really be an outside focus on wearables and also services as well. As you can see here in this chart, you're looking at the percent of iPhone revenue as a percent of the total. Now, if revenues for the iPhone come in as expected, it will come in at $26.5 billion. Now, should we hit this, this will be the first time that the iPhone segment of Apple's business actually makes up less than half of Apple's revenue for the first time since 2012. So certainly that's something to keep an eye on, John.
Hey, Sarah, thank you. Let's continue that conversation. Evercore ISI expecting strong earnings from Apple. The analyst Amit Daryanani writing in a note the following: Apple is well positioned to continue to surprise investors on the upside. We're sticking with our outperform rating, but adjusting our price target to $227, as we think Apple, with an accelerating services revenue line, will command a better valuation. Amit, I'm pleased to say, joins us on the phone right now. So, Amit, you think there's capacity for an upside surprise? Just walk me through your thinking a little bit further.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. I would say, listen, on the iPhone units, the declines are well understood, well expected, I would argue. The upside levers, I think, will be on three fronts. One is we think services will accelerate, not just in the June quarter, but likely throughout the year. I think that's going to be a big delta versus what most consensus models have as a decelerating revenue line. That's going to be one. The second is going to be gross margins. We think that could inflect higher given better mix and lower commodity costs. And the third part really is capital allocation. The buybacks we think could be fairly strong. So I think the mix of those three things, provided iPhones remain in the down, low teens kind of range from a revenue basis, should enable for some upside for June and an inline guide for September.
Amit, if we just break this down regionally, what are you looking for from China?
I'll say that on two fronts, right? On services, our data shows that China services has actually accelerated in the June quarter by about 10 points versus what you've seen the last few quarters. So services, China, I think, is going to do exceptionally well for them. It's really a reflection of the gaming approvals getting eased up. iPhone units, I think the data has been a little bit more mixed. April and May months were fairly good from the data we saw. June was more challenging, but certainly nothing more incrementally worse than what we saw in the March quarter. So I think China units will be soft. China services will be good.
Just want to ask you a question about John Ives as well. It's the first real opportunity on the call to ask some of the C-suite about the relationship with the head designer as he steps to the one side. What are you expecting that to look like, Amit?
Yeah, I'm not sure if Apple will talk much about it beyond what they've publicly discussed, right? But I do think that the part to focus on is not the fact that he stepped down, which is logical and expected, I think, but the fact that the next set of chief design officers are no longer reporting to the CEO directly, rather than reporting to the COO. So what does that mean for design in Apple? I think that's a bigger question to be asked and addressed on this call versus why did Johnny leave?
Hey, Amit, great to catch up with you.